According to him, I'd overreacted, and all this fuss was unnecessary drama. His words landed like a slap. They were practically gaslighting me, shifting blame onto me as if I'd made it all up. At that point, I knew I had to be direct. I told them I wasn't interested in more apologies or flexibility if it just meant going back to the same toxic patterns. If they really wanted me around, they'd need to respect my boundaries and stop dismissing my feelings. They exchanged glances, clearly uncomfortable. My dad nodded, reluctantly agreeing to try, but the look in his eyes told me he wasn't fully on board. Their agreement came with a side of jabs. They'd nod and say they understood, only to add little comments about how family should be willing to compromise and how we all have flaws. It was all just passive-aggressive enough to let me know nothing had really changed. After one final dig from my sister about how hard it is to always walk on eggshells around me, I felt that same frustration rising all over again. They wanted me back on their terms, not because they actually respected the boundaries I'd set. Without another word, I picked up my bag and stood up, ready to leave once more. As I walked out, I could hear my mom's voice rising behind me, pleading, but I didn't turn back. I'd given them their chance, and it was clear they weren't willing to truly change. After that meeting, I expanded my block list, adding my siblings and only leaving my younger cousin unblocked. He was the only one who'd reached out without piling on any guilt or criticism, and I appreciated his quiet support. The rest, though, they were done. A few days later, I talked with my therapist, telling her everything that had happened during the meeting. She listened and nodded, reassuring me that it was okay to protect myself from toxic relationships, even if those relationships were with family. I knew then that this wasn't just a phase. I was done letting them manipulate and control me. Predictably, my phone started buzzing again, this time with even angrier messages. My mom, my dad, and even my aunt were now furious, accusing me of abandoning the family. They piled on guilt and accusations, but this time I felt stronger, more certain. I didn't need their approval, and I wasn't going back. Finally, for the first time, I felt like I was standing up for myself without hesitation. And that, more than anything, felt like freedom. Update 3. Not long after I left the family discussion, I started hearing whispers about rumors spreading within the family. My phone buzzed with messages from friends asking what had happened. They'd heard stories about my disrespect and how I'd supposedly abandoned my family during the holiday. It was clear my family had taken things up a notch, rallying extended relatives and anyone else who would listen, painting me as the villain. One friend messaged me, genuinely confused. She'd known me for years and couldn't believe the things she was hearing. My mom and sister had apparently called some mutual acquaintances, telling them I'd disrespected the family by refusing to participate in family traditions, and that I'd humiliated my parents by leaving during Thanksgiving. My sister was especially vocal, making vague posts on social media about betrayal, selfish family members, and how some people just don't understand loyalty. It was almost comical how quickly they turned on me, but I knew their game. They wanted me to feel isolated, hoping that if enough people started questioning my actions, I'd cave and come running back. It didn't take long before I saw one of Jessica's posts.